morning everyone, I hope you're well today. Excuse me. Today's reading is going to be a little soul whisper, a little sort of pat in the back, or a little bit of advice maybe on where you need to go, how you're doing, from somebody from the other side who may be watching you. You have got 3 cards. You've got Desert Sand, Faded Denim and Pantone 583. If you want to make your choice, then we'll have a little look to see how it's going. Okay, pile number 1. This has got quite a, I'm going to say straightforward message, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to translate it because it's straightforward, but it's complicated. You've got here for you a feeling of being tied down, being too hard on yourself, almost withdrawing from life and just basically being just too tough. Just too tough. There's a feeling here of pushing through and anxiety, and there's a strong feeling of withdrawal and taking things too seriously. You've got the 8th house, you've got Saturn, you've got the 4 of Swords with the rabbit lying low, and you've got the Chariot and the 6 of spray cans. These are all like healing and trying really hard. And I guess your person, whoever is looking at you from, if there is another side, is saying, let it go. It's okay to have responsibility. It's okay to try and understand situations. But with this case, with you at the moment, it's maybe a feeling of enjoy yourself. This has got to stop. It's like a case of you forgot why you're here, and you're here to experience life, learn your lessons, but not drag yourself through a hedge continually. It feels as if you could be hard on yourself in different ways. You've got there's a feeling of healing, and I don't know whether it's to do with relationships, I don't know whether it's to do with working hard due to financial situations, but it feels as if it's still milling on your head and you feel like you've got to push. And the Temperance card in the middle is like, let it go. It's that Sagittarius card. Life's bigger than what you're engrossing at the moment, and I know it's so difficult, and we'd all do it. It's like you're trying to sort out your mental processes and be the best person you possibly can. And I can feel this with this power. It's like people that are hard on themselves because they want to sort out how to do the best thing. It's like you want to be proud of yourself in 3 months' time. You want to be proud of yourself in 6 months' time, or when you're on your deathbed. And so you're always trying to do the right thing. But there's a feeling in this pan, as in the Temperance here, slap bang in the middle of Saturn and the 8th house and the Chariot, push, 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 is like take a breather and laugh. And it's not like a message like take a breather, a laugh, which is like one of those ones that, it shouldn't be like one of those ones that it feels like it's from a cookbook. It should feel as if it's a different feeling, and I can't explain it because I'm the one that's saying it. It feels as if it's it's like, I can explain a feeling, when you're stuck in something and it's you're going towards a holiday and you're working really hard in work, or you've got a difficult relationship, or your home life's quite difficult, and somebody says to you, just relax, and you're still in it, you're still in the work situation. Then you go on holiday, and after the 3rd day your whole perspective on life changes, and you start getting to this holiday, the Sagittarius, the Temperance card here, and these things fall away naturally. It's like a case of you need something to do in your life to change your perspective so that you're not so hard. And it feels like driven, but it feels like driven as in you're almost like, you get pegs and you pound them in when you go camping to make sure your tent doesn't fly off. It feels like you're doing that to yourself. And your soul whisper to you would be, give it up, relax. Life is meant to be fun. We're meant to be lighter. We're meant to be And I always used to get told off for laughing so much when I was young. And I used to take it to heart and not laugh so much. And as I get older, I think that is probably one of the nicest things about people, is when they basically are light-hearted. So I don't do it anymore. If I find something funny, even if it's rude, I will probably laugh and apologise later. But this has got this feeling like, just let it go. Just be easy with yourself, because you're trying too hard, which is admirable, because there's nothing worse than lazy people that don't look at themselves and try and help themselves. Because you know we've got all this intelligence and we get mushed in it. And you get animals that are very simple, just doing things, and they're actually happier. And I'm not saying your intelligence is there for a reason, but it's not to batter yourself with. This is like, take a break, take me with you. What you need to drop is, there's two thoughts here. What you need to drop is trying to manipulate your life. This feels like, I used to live in a village. I'm not saying this is you, but this is a feeling I'm getting from this pile. So if somebody, you know, had your best interests at heart. I used to live in a village. Yeah, there's stories here. I used to live in a village where we used to get a lot of families who were around the London area and then come out a little bit to live in this village, but still the same mindset of achieve, you know, got to get this done. And desire is fantastic. It's fantastic to desire things, but the Magician card here and the King of Wands is somebody that's trying to do it eternally. It's like, you need to stop and give yourself a break. Your passion is admirable. Your person, whoever it is on the other side, would be saying, you know, that your passion is admirable, and that desire is something that's going to get you really well through life, but you've got to know why and when to stop. I think here the King of Wands, again, forward movement, push. The Magician, manipulate. It feels like super mum, super dad trying to get something done. You know, when you've basically cooked tea, picked the kids up, gone to work, been fantastic, worn your cape around Tesco's or whatever shop you go shopping, you know, and you're flying through the aisles, and you're home, and then you're doing your homework. It feels like that, and your person, whoever was be whispering in your ear, would say, done a great job, now can you give it up? Just, I'm not saying give up your job, but could you take a day off without feeling anxious? This card here, this pile here feels like. Yeah, and your message here, like your advice, is the Chariot and the King of Cups, which is, considering you've got the Chariot here for what is the problem, it's like retain your desire, retain that forceful nature that gets you going. But the King of Cups is coming from your heart, not from pleasing other people, not from societal needs. Do it for yourself. Do it because it makes you happy, and for only that reason. Because the Chariot card is still moving, it's still got fire, it's still excited about life. But the King of Cups changed from the King of Wands, where King of Wands in some cases could be action for action's sake, and it could be like a headless chicken feeling. But the King of Cups is doing it because it loves it. You know, if you love your job, then put more into it. If you love your kids, if you love any activity in life, it's just like, do it for the love of it, not for anybody else's reason, or something that you've set rolling in your mindset in some way possibly, or that society expects of you. It's not a rebellious pile at all. It's a pile of take stock of why. Take stock of how much energy you put into things, because you've got the energy there to make the difference to other people and yourself. And I'm guessing if this were a message, is like, well done for all of that. Well done for your basic personality, for that. It feels like fire. It's like your energy to put things into life is, you know, some people don't have that. And that is a real plus point here. But it feels like you've burnt yourself out a bit, or you could be in the process with the Four of Swords, the Saturn, the 8th house, the Chariot and the spray cans. It's like retreat and heal after hard work. You may be on that track to doing that, and this is like, take a break. Take a break. If you're from Britain, we used to get these very bad magazines called Take a Break. No, I'm not going to go there. But it does honestly feel like in the fast lane, doing it for reasons that you have forgot to ask yourself why. And then your advice here is keep doing it, keep pushing, keep being excited. Take a break if you can do it, and then reflect on why you're doing it here. Because the desire is great, but the momentum needs to stop momentarily for you to look at yourself and wonder why you're doing it. So that would be your soul whisper. Your soul whisper would be saying great passion, great excitement for life, but you're going to burn yourself out. You know, what could you pull out and what things could you put in that you still, you know, keep those things that you still love, that make you sing, that, you know, feel like, they just feel like your natural self, but pull back on those things where other people expect it from you. You've started to play that game. It's really unusual feel, and you can see it so often in life, and we get stuck in playing the game so much that we stop to check ourselves. Now, why do we do things? Why do we do certain things? Is it to make ourselves happy? And in making yourselves happy, you know, especially with the King of Cups here, you make other people happy. Because if you're doing things routinely and you've got the King of Wands here, he's good, or she's good at doing things, getting things done. But sometimes it's like at the end of the week, it's like headless chicken. It's like, what have you actually done? It's like, did you enjoy yourself? And if not, could you cut a few things out? Could you take a break? The Temperance card in the middle of this has got a very strange feeling to me, because it feels like, you know, you do things compulsively and then you have a break, or you try and take a break, and how does that make you feel inside? Really strange feeling, as in, you know, it's almost like you could test yourselves for your compulsive desires as well, to just basically stop it. The one that springs to mind here is in my early 40s, I was quite poorly, and I've always ran. I always liked to run, and then I couldn't run. And then I realised how compulsive it was. So I had two years where I put on about 3 stone. I hated it, but it was good for me. It was really good for me because I just stopped doing it. And it was like, yeah, that is compulsive. And now, you know, I still run. I like doing it. It's definitely on this pile rather than this pile. It makes me feel good. I enjoy it. But I know that, you know, you can take a break. I know that I can take a break if I want to. And that has the same feeling there with you. Right, pile number 1, I'm going to leave you there. I hope that makes sense. Your soul whisper is, take it easy. Take it easy. Don't run yourself into the ground. Do things you love for you, and only for you. I was going to say for close family then, but this is all for you. And in being that, which is action with love, it will be the best gift for your close family and your friends and those people whose lives you touch. By making yourself happy, because you've got the fire to keep moving with it, and that is, you know, it's inspirational for other people. So nice soul whisper for you. I'm going to leave you there. Thank you. Okay, pile number 2, a soul whisper for you, I would guess have something to do with communication. There is also here possibly an indication of family issues, or something to do with expressing yourself with regards to like close family. Even like aunties, uncles, brothers, sisters, mums, dads, that type of thing. Because you've got the 10 of Wands, which is heaviness. You've got Mercury, which is thoughts and how you communicate, what you think and what you say, I guess. The 4th house here with Sister of Brushes. And this Sister of Brushes is, it could be a female in the family, but it's a really strange one because she looks a bit, it's got a finger up her nose. It's like somebody in your family that gets your goat in some way, somebody that rubs you up the wrong way. And the spray cans here is, to me, always makes me think of healing. It's like moving from one situation to the other and trying to smooth out situations. And your soul whisper to you would be, what I guess is releasing issues in a very good way. It feels like you may have had difficulty in the past communicating. Ace of Swords, and once again the spray cans. It's got something to do with how you, Mercury here as well, how you voice your opinions and how you've done it possibly in the past and how you heal. And the message would be is, if you've argued with somebody and let somebody go out of your life who may be close family, just somebody close to you, that you've done it in a very grown-up way. There's a very sort of mature, and With regards to learning how to communicate, speaking your truth is the one I thought here with Mercury and the Ten of Swords, speaking what's been dragging you down or hurting you. And the fourth house here is home issues, possibly female. If not, maybe somebody younger than you, and healing yourself, that you're doing the right thing. What I think you have stopped here, the Eight of Pentacles and Page of Pentacles, to me with regards to a power that feels like communication, that somebody would be saying to you that in the past you may have had difficulty with holding on to issues that bug you and then splurting them out. It feels like you could have had problems with trying to keep control and then losing it. You know, like when you get resentful over something, like somebody's pushing you in a family situation, or somebody who's quite close to you. I can't get a feeling of who it could be or what type of person it could be, but it doesn't feel like somebody that's been pushing on you. It just feels like somebody that's been causing you concern, and most of the times you let it sit and then you spit. I made that up just then. Honestly, it's like letting it sit, then it all comes out. This may have already happened. This is your central card, which is emotional loss. And the fourth house here is like your roots and your home and your internal self. And there's still something left. And there's a congratulations, which is part of your soul whisper of the way that you've done it. And it feels like it's caused you heaviness. It feels like it's caused you a lot of internal going over with regards to your mind processes. It's like whirring away continually. And you've dealt with it really well, which is like, you know, a good clap for that. And you've moved away, and all these cards here, this one, and this one are healing. And the fourth house could be healing. It could even be childhood wounds. So it doesn't have to be. The fourth house I've initially interpreted as family, but the fourth house is also your inner core. It's like what you basically bring through from your upbringing. You know, there's those childhood issues, and it feels like somebody could have triggered them, and this is a big hand clap for the way that you've dealt with it. It's like, yeah, you may have been, that's like compulsive, and that's like too restricted, like should I speak, shouldn't I speak, oh my god, it's come out. And then this is saying Ace of Swords is clear, concise communication. Something's been said, something's been expressed that has been spot on, and you're healing from it perfectly. So well done. This feels nice. The more I look into it, the more it can get a bit wider with the fourth house. The fourth house doesn't have to be family. The fourth house could be things that we bring with us through childhood that basically tug at us and make us feel inadequate. And then, you know, it's when you come up against somebody and they say something to you and it nips and it hurts. And if you didn't have that problem from childhood, it doesn't have to be like childhood, like your mum did something to you, but it's like, you know, karmic. It's like a feeling of something that makes you vulnerable. This person nips and you basically retaliate in some way. And I think in the past you possibly retaliate could have been the word, you know, with that one here. And it may have been delayed retaliation as well with this one here. So your soul whisper to you is like, well done. Well done. It feels as if you've almost rubbed off a little bit of karma and let it float away. It feels like, yep, that one's done and dusted. Well done. And your advice here is hold your boundaries. Don't start thinking because you've dealt with it well that you can let it back in. It's like a case of, okay, done. You know, keep your distance from this person or this situation that possibly caused you a lot of what's confabulation? There isn't such a word, is there? A lot of internal... Is there a word? Confabulate? I don't know. Anyway, it made you basically churn over your mind processes quite a lot, and then ending it. And even if there's some sort of like insipid get together, you know, like let me just. The other puts the peace branch out or the olive branch out a little bit to you. This person or this situation comes back into your life. It's like, no, keep that situation ended, keep that boundaries up. And even if there are small sort of attempts to get things together again, I think you're probably, that's done. You're best without it. You're best without that situation. And don't feel as if... by the fact that you're dealing with it pretty well, to leave the door open. I know there's two cups standing there, but these cards here say your two cups are standing there for you to heal, not for you to let that other person in. It's like you don't have to go gung-ho in a situation to make it work for you. It's like, you know, you've taken the middle ground in some way here, possibly been very controlled, but don't underestimate what was behind it. Just because you can control yourself doesn't mean that it's less of an issue. It's just done, dusted, keep it away from you. So pile number 2, there is a feeling of somebody, and it could be close family, or you know, somebody, could be somebody in your house, but that doesn't have to be. Oh, so I'm just noticing these colours are very similar, and these colours here, and these colours here. There's a lot of denim going on today. It could just be somebody that's bringing up an issue that nips and hurts, and it may be something that you'll know whether it is that, because you will have, I guess, at least 3 points in your life where something similar has happened, maybe the same issue. I'm trying to think of things that, you know, that could be an example of. I don't know. Let's just say somebody says that you, oh, I can't go there, because you will know. It'll be, normally if the issue is within you, then you can see it come up quite a few times in your life. Even if the other person's revolting and antagonistic, it's still highlighting something in ourselves. And this is saying, your soul whisper, well done for the way that you dealt with that, because the way you dealt with it is half the lesson here. And if you're feeling bad, if you've shut this person out in some way and moved on, and then this person possibly wasn't as bad as you thought they were, but they just nipped at something that was very sensitive to you, the advice here is also, you don't need that person in your life. Don't feel bad about it. Just keep going. It's like keep going, because the lesson is, is just as much in as how you dealt with it as in the actual lesson. But I wouldn't go back to this person. To me, this is like cut it off, keep yourself guarded, minimum contact, I guess, here. Okay, pile number 2, I'm going to leave that there. To me, that is all to do with your inner mental processes and the way that you express yourself, and it's a big congratulations. So that is your soul whisper. Congratulations on that. Okay, I'm going to leave that there. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hi, pile number 3. There is a very strange feeling here of, you know, you get those, I don't know if you get these anymore, but there was normally, I think about 10-15 years ago, there was a lot of, like, I would say, new age, I don't know what the word is, new age, like videos or information, or just, you know, people saying that I'm too sensitive to be here. Which I understand totally. I don't belong in this world. This has got this feeling about it. This feeling has an otherworldly feeling about it. And if it's a whisper to your soul, it's like, to cut to the quick, it's like you're meant to be this sensitive. It's like your 9th house, the psyche there, is like seeing into other worlds, understanding situations, and it hurts. It feels like a Neptune pile where you just want to go home and basically put balm on your nerves. It feels as if the 5 of Pentacles here is a feeling of being shut out through being sensitive. The 9th house here makes me think that you're very interested in how things move outside of normal reality, and so you need to be this sensitive to be here. And your soul whisper would be, just from looking at this top bits here, not going down here yet, is the reason you're here is because you're so sensitive. If somebody were outside the world giving you a soul whisper, it's like, why would we keep sending people down who are the same mold as everybody else that has been here, you know, years before? You know, all those sort of people who have goggles only for this world, as in, like, you know, war or competition or achievement. It's like, we've had enough of that. And I remember having so many dreams about 10 years, 15 years ago, really weird dreams about feminine energy coming into this world. It's really weird dreams. And you feel like this. You feel like, in male or female, it doesn't really matter. It's like an insight, I've got a funny feeling then, like an insight into this world through people who are gentle, people who are sensitive, not senseless. And that is a real big thing in this world at the moment, I think, here. You've got feelings here of wanting to go home. You know, they used to say, I want to go home, I don't belong here. So I don't know whether you're having a very sensitive time, because you've got the Eight of Stencils here. It's somebody that's trying really hard to fit into mundane reality. The Seven of Brushes, you always feel like you're chasing people away. It's like hurt and chasing people away. And you would be saying to, if this was a soul whisper, from somebody who's dead or your higher self, it doesn't really matter. All the same thing, I suppose. It's like, I'm trying really hard. I just don't feel like I fit in here, and sometimes I cry. And this is, can I come out of this? Can I come home? And this is like, no, you're not. You've got Justice on this side, find balance. You've got the Page of Pentacles. Keep going, keep getting stuck in. Your soul whispers like tough love, soul whisper, but recognition of your beauty. And what you need to stop, if you've got the Queen of Wands and you've got the Five of Pentacles, the Five of Pentacles is the Five of Pentacles. You've had that twice. The Five of Pentacles is being shut out of a situation that you feel that you don't belong in. It feels like in some way, and I don't know whether it's just a particular circumstance that you've been through recently, that you feel like everybody else is not your tribe. It could be a work situation, it could be life in general. And the Queen of Wands is what you need to drop. It's like, stop trying to fit in the wrong way. Go back to your gentle self. Go back to that feminine part inside you that other people need to be copying you for, if you know what I mean. That doesn't sound very clearly, but it's like those bits that you feel that may be too sensitive or too gentle. It's like you're not going to be able to help anybody else if you think you're going to join in the mad game. It's like, this is like the Five of Pentacles is often case in, the Rider-Waite packs is the woman trying to get into the church. It's like you trying to get into the asylum. And the people on the other side saying, no, don't be silly. You're there for them to look through the window at you. And that Queen of Wands doesn't mean join in their actions, join in the madness. That is just stand up for yourself with your sensitivities and your beauty and your feminine qualities and insightful and gentleness, not through basically joining in the madness. And it's not going to be easy. I mean, your advice is fight. And this is a really interesting card to me, because it's 36. I don't know if it is 36 I don't know. It is 36 in this numerology book I've got, which is absolutely fantastic. You know, you get books that work and ones that don't work, and you go through hundreds of astrology books or numerology books, and you think, yeah, that's okay. I've got 2 numerology books that really work. For me, they do anyway. I don't know if it's the same for everybody else. And this card is normally put down as a 36, which is the full wheel, which gives it a feeling of the 9 to me rather than the 10. It's like you've been through the processes, you've learned so many lessons. That's why it feels heavy, because you're carrying the can for lots of other people. And the only way you're going to get through this is realizing that you're coming into the mad game. You're going to have to keep fighting. There's going to be conflict, but it's like you just got to be tough. It's just got to be tough. You feel like you're chasing away. You feel like you've your head down. You've got your eyes on the skies here. You've got your face across the water. You're feeling knocked out. You're really sensitive, but you're here for a reason. And the Justice cards and the 9 of Pentacles here is you're here to show people how to do it properly, how to do it with insight, how to do it with gentleness. And sometimes, if this is a soul whisper, you just need a boost to say you are on the right track. And we live in a mad, mad world, totally mad. A couple of days ago, I was looking, and I don't know if political things are going to get me into trouble. I was looking at this for genuine reasons, because my memory is absolutely awful. And if I've ever not emailed people back, I can't midweek because I'm in work. But if I've not emailed people back or not remembered information, please forgive me, because my memory has always been awful ever since I was about 15, 16. Absolutely awful. I've done so much research on it. I can't remember a thing. But I think it's probably for a reason, because I I like mental processes, I could get lost in it. So the fact I can't remember my kids' names is great. To me, it's great. But I don't mean to insult anybody, and that does cause me concern here. But got stuck into Joe Biden's, I was looking on YouTube at Joe Biden, and he can't remember things. And I'm thinking, how can that be that one of the most powerful men in the world, and I feel really, really sorry for him. And I was even looking at pictures when he was young, so I can relate better to him, you know, rather than he looks different, doesn't he? Because I think he's had a facelift, and it's difficult. I find it difficult to relate to him. So I'm looking at people when they're young, and I can understand his drive to be there, and now he's there. But what, you know, that is just mad. And I know there's people behind him giving the information, but it's a difficult message for people to take on. Anyway, what I was saying is that, you know, the world that we live in is possibly mad because your sensitivities, your ability to understand things, but have, I guess, almost led you to feeling like you're actually almost like an outsider. It's like watching the world and thinking, oh my God, what on earth? But you're here for a different reason. You're here basically to show through the way that you act, the way that you do things, that you are a different world. You are the new world, not joining in the madness. And it's never going to be easy. It's always going to be a tough ride. And another thing I said in a couple of videos back, something I was really interested in years ago, and I think it's like got a bit of a poetic quality to me. It was something to do with different planets, and stars bringing through different energies. They're almost like gateways that bring in energies. It's a bit like, you know, like, well, it is, it's like, you know, like when you get energy that's plutonic from, you know, different, I can't say planets, can I? But there's that feeling here of you possibly being, which was one thing I used to look at quite a lot, was like, was it Princess of the, I can't remember. Priestess with a Brave Heart. It's one of those sort of, I think it was Procyon, and I've mentioned it about 3 times recently for no reason, I don't know why. Perhaps just the readings of timing, when you're here and why you're here, and it will never be easy, but with knowing that you're here to perhaps show other people a different way to do things is part of your job. Chasing people away. Trying to understand, trying to take the higher road, trying to look at the higher perspective, feeling shut out, sensitivities. Your soul whisper to you is, these make me smile, because it does honestly look like I want to go on a holiday, but I want to go on a big holiday, and it feels, no, you've got to balance it. You know, it's not going to be easy until you balance it. And by balancing, I mean like a strong inner core, not to be battered by everybody's wildness. It's like, let it roll over you. Easier said than done, I know, but your soul whisper to you is congratulations for being here. Thank you for being here. And keep your head down, even when it's tough. Know that you are there for yourself, for that reason, to keep yourself centered in some way, but you're there for everybody else too. But you're not there for battering. You're there to... It feels like somebody, you know, like a meditating with people throwing arrows at them. It feels like you're there to, don't let you, it's like an image of like some sort of, and I'm going to go Magneto here, some sort of invisible shield around you, or is that Batfink? I don't know. And then these arrows not really getting to you. It's like they come towards you and they fall because you're so centered. Pile number 3, I'm going to finish that. I hope that makes sense. Thank you very much for joining me. I'm going to go. Bye-bye.